right, here we go again. Let me put up the volume a little bit. Yes, that sounds better. Okay, squat number 2. Let's start it. We have a lot of good bowlers once again. So, let me see. So squad 2 on a Saturday, Olympia bowling alley here in Helsingborg. A lot of talent again, a lot of good bowlers, a lot of young kids who are facing their first big event. And we had quite high scoring on the previous squad. The leader shot 14-16. We had also a 14-13. The pattern is 44 feet. It's the EJ Tacket. It's a PBA junior pattern that you can find on the Kegel pattern library. The bowlers who have bowled a little bit higher, they were standing a little bit deeper on the lane. The guys who scored higher, they started somewhere around 18, 19, 20 in the arrows, keeping the break point somewhere around 10. And as the games went on, they moved a little bit deeper. It opened up a little bit for them. They ended up bowling, some of them, like the squad leader, Iskil. On the last game, he was somewhere around 22, 23, 24 on the arrows. Breakpoint has moved a little bit deeper to 12, 13. They had some room inside, room outside. So one of the facts that is making the lanes not go tougher is that there's very, very little use of urethane. And I'm very happy to see high scoring without one single colored ball in the ball returns. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm fighting a little bit with the screens. I have a lot of stuff going on in here, so if you are so kind to give me just one more minute so I can figure this out, and I'll be back to you. All right, I found a way. Now everything seems to be correct. Yes. So, lanes 1 to 4. We have William Vianto, David Hulten, Emma Ljunggren, Anton Sundberg, Rasmus Nordenson, Kevin V. Andersson, Charlie Rosender, and Sixten Etfeldt. Moving along, on lanes 5 to 8, we find Oscar Mirin, Saya Johansson, Tobias Andersson, Axton Sandberg, Max Fredriksson, Hannes Helsten, Nils West, Noah Strandberg. Let's carry on. 9 to 12, we find Annabelle Andersson, we find Anelia Andersson, Simon Hölling, Philip Strandgren. Then we find Millie Lindgren, Nicole Brandin, Felix Lung, Carl Adolfsson. Let's move along to the camera streaming from lane 13 to 16. There we find Doris Lundsten, William Klasborn, Maya Norell, Mia Mott, Linus Bäckström, Neo Heidhagen, Nova Lindqvist, and Rasmus Olsson. And then when we move to the last streaming camera we have on lane 17 to 20, we find Willem Hulen, Lobe Javkens, that's a tough one, Lobe Javenscholt, Vilma Venman, Jolene Lund, Manuel Laris, Loie Ross, Hilmer Fredriksson, and Emilia Linarsson. It's going to try to see around where is everybody bowling and where is everyone standing. On lane 19 and 20 we find Manuel, he's got a spare and 5 in a row. Also on the same cameras, but lane 17 we find an open frame for Willem, but then a turkey, and an open frame and then a 4-bagger for Lobe. Let's have a look around lanes 1 and 2. We find David Hulten with a spare and 5 strikes in a row. Let's see if we can get to see some action, start to see a little bit where is everyone standing, what lines are they using, how they are approaching this pattern and this lane condition now on fresh. It's just been 10 minutes of warm-up. And now we have 6 frames on the first game. Okay, for those who are texting me on the cell phone, yes, we have quite young bowlers. We have different categories. We have the under 21, then we have the under 16, and then we have the girls. And there is, I think I've been told the youngest bowler in the event is 12, but on the previous squad someone commented that he was 11, so it could be all the way down to 11, it could be 12. Still very young, very interesting opportunity for them to compete against the best talented bowlers in this teenager ages up here in Sweden and Scandinavia. Now I'm looking at lane 6. It's a lot of power for this kit. Started with strike, spare, 5 in a row. It's a two-handed bowling, pretty much on the line we said. He was being very productive on the previous squats I've been commenting. Somewhere around 20 in the arrows and swinging it a little bit out, not too far, somewhere around 10, 11, 12. On lane 19, we can still see Manuel is striking a lot. Started with 8 spare, now he's got 7 in a row. So we have some striking on lane 5 and 6. We have some striking in 19 and 20. And we have some striking also on 11 and 12 by Carl Adolfsson. Spare turkey, open frame, spare turkey. Still could shoot all the way up to 244. Okay. I'm watching Manuel shooting now on lane 19. Two-handed, bowling around 20. Break point, that was a little bit deeper, somewhere around 13. But the pins exploded like he sent a hand grenade instead of a bowling ball. True power. Very, very good. I'm afraid there's going to be a slight delay on lanes 13 to 16. There appears to be a small issue on lane 15. The technicians are working on it. And well, I can tell you from previous experiences that even the worst scenarios and machinery giving problems, the staff here in Olympia Bowling Alley are super good, super fast, super professional, and they usually manage to solve problems quite quickly. It was quite spectacular last summer on the Lucky Larsen. One of the ball returns engines decided to die. It usually takes more than an hour to change it. They fixed everything in under 15 minutes. So very, very good stuff working here at Olympia. So I'm gonna focus back on scoring. Let's start from the beginning, lane 1 and 2. We had some striking, as I said before, from David Hulten. Unfortunately, he missed a couple of single pins. But still on his way to 15 to 20. Then moving to lane 3 and 4, we can find Charlie Rosender. He's doing quite a few strikes as well. He's got spare, 4 in a row, spare turkey. So he's going to enter the 10th frame looking to shoot with a strikeout, a potential score of 266. On 5 and 6, we also had Axton Sandberg with a strike spare, 5 in a row spare strike, looking to strike out on the 10th for a 259 potential. On the streaming from 9 to 12, Carl Adolfsson managed to strike out, shot 244. It's pretty good. On lane 10, we find Philip Stronggreen, 9 spare double, 9 spare strike, 9 spare double. So that looks quite consistent. Also looking to strike out for a 249. And ending back into lane 1920 with Manuel. So he got a spare, 9 in a row, and then a split on the 11th, but still he shot 277. That's a very high game. They are giving an announce on the bowling alley speakers. I couldn't really hear what they said because I'm wearing my headsets for the streaming, but I'm guessing they are asking the bowling alley to slow down a little bit until they can manage to fix that issue on lane 15. Anyway, I'm going to keep updating the scores for you. So lane 1 and 2, David Hulten, 221. On lane 4, Charlie Rosender striked out, so 266. We have one game of 277, one game of 266. So they found how to bowl this on fresh from start. Also Carl Adolfsson, as we said, 244. Mili Lindgren, 218. Philip Strongren, very good pin action, strike on the 9. So now it's 9 spare double, 9 spare strike, 9 spare triple. Also on lane 4, 610 Edfeldt, doing good, striking to end the game. He had to strike an open frame, a few spares, but then frames 8, 9, and 10 striking out, and that's a sign of a good bowler always when they end up striking the last frames. It takes a few shots to figure out the lane, and once they found it, keep striking. Okay, it looks like the action is going to slow down a little bit. We still have that little issue on lane 15, so we will have to see. Maybe we have to take a short pause, but hopefully it's a short one. In the meantime, since the action is a little bit slow, let me remind you, if you use Instagram, I would heartily recommend you to search for Strikey app. This is, we are a bunch of bowlers who are putting all our hearts and effort to build a bowling app, which is going to bring you some very interesting tools. That our main goal is just to make the game more accessible, easier, and especially for those countries that have a little bit less of knowledge and a little bit less of access to true coaching and all this kind of things that the bowler needs to develop their game, and especially for the youth ones. So we are really working hard and putting all our hearts and passion into building up a tool that's going to help the bowlers improve, understand the game better. So as I said, join the wait list and search for Strikey app on Instagram, or you can search for me on Instagram as well, or Facebook. I'm Louis Montfort, and I'm always going to be out there if anybody needs help with their game and bowling. Bowling is my life, bowling is my passion, and I would never have learned so much unless previous bowlers and coaches were so kind as to help me grow as a bowler, grow as a coach, learn more and more from the very best out there. And that's what my heart tells me to do now. It's time to pay back. It's time to give back some knowledge and help the bowling community worldwide. Okay, the bowling alley has now completely stopped. The games have finished, but we still have that issue with pair 15 and 16. So I'm gonna take a little pause, see if I can find out a little bit more, and I'll be back as soon as possible. We'll be right back.
Så fort den kickar igång så kan vi köra igång så ställer vi igång katten efter det. Fast det är resultat. Ja, sen kommer ni antingen kommer den bli lagrad eller så kommer ni hoppa in och spela fem. Vad är det för förhållning? Du kommer på det här. Jocke? Ja? Du måste ha vad de har i de första 2 minuterna. Medan ditt på första. Så det räcker här då. Va?
Det är jättekul. Det hände samma sak idag.
Ja, tyvärr har jag lite dåliga nyheter. Vi har haft problem med bana 15. En vals har gått av där nere. Så Sebastian ligger där nere och försöker fixa detta. Och istället kommer vi göra så här att de som är på 15-16 kommer att spela i kapp nu. En serie. De är 8 ute efter. De ska också på träningslag. Ni andra tar gärna en paus. Ni kommer givetvis få träningslag efter det här breaket. Så var inte oroliga för det. Vi beklagar att maskinen går sönder ibland, men så är det tyvärr. Så att på 17-18 kommer de som är på 15-16 spela klart sin första serie och så hoppas vi Sebastian gör ett under nere på 15, annars så kommer vi placera ut dem så att det blir något barnpar med 5. Och alla kommer givetvis få träningslag efter den här serien när vi kör igång igen. Jag återkommer igen så fort jag har mer information. Tack så mycket.
Kevin! Kevin! Kan vi passera eller?
Då kommer Viktor bort och ser till att bana 17-18 kan starta. Så har ni varsin provruta per bana, 2 provrutor var. Och sen spelar ni klart den serien. Tack.
för dig, vad fan? Ja, du har alla fel. Det är så här. Lukas, jag tackar dig eller?
Jag tänkte.
Lukas, jag kommer tacka dig eller?
Va? Ja. Alltså, du gick med vänner.
Alltså, jag är så dålig med texten.
Men du gör det.
Alltså, vad hade du? Nej, men nu, det såg vi säkert helt rätt.
Det var ju
ska jag. Jag orkar inte vara 15 år.
Nej.
Men då ska du ställa sig här igen. Nej, jag tror inte jag stoppar inte. Nej, för du ska ta på. Jag vet det, men de gör inte det. De måste. Det blir jag tror. Nej. Vart gissar jag? Vänsterbanan. Så kommer du köpa battaxeln. De måste dit. Då ska inte bli 20. Men vad fan ska jag göra? Mitt i spel? Nej, kunde ha det. Vi kommer ha 5 dagar bara. Jag sa ju det. Du sa ju det. Att man pratar med varandra. Ska vi upp på Vasa och fram? Nej, du ska ha 5 dagar. De tar bort det, sa du? Nej. Det kommer ta 4 timmar. Lite förseningar bara. Jag tycker vi kan få lite gratis för det. Ja, det ska de prata med. Ja, kanske inte till alla. Det går de bara till det. 40 för ska man få ta upp det. Ja. Det kostar 100. Och det där kan man käka mycket. Ja, kan man. Det är ju väldigt bra. Jag älskar att käka mig så jag försöker. Jag tror jag åt dem 7 dagar i veckan. Jag tror man ska få en jävla tävling. Så har man en jävla tävlingströja. Ja. Jag tror att man skulle få tävlingströja. Nej, är det sånt där jävla skit? Ja. Den tröjan ska bli inte. 300 spänn för en jävla tävlingströja. Säg någonting. Jag gör det. Behöver inte fri. Var bor du? Uppsala. Uppsala. Alltså man prickar 10 kärror. Ja, 2 kärror. Om man lite...
Fast nej, det blir väl lite mycket.
Klotet prickar typ 4.
Om du inte gör bra.
Ja.
Nej, det gör du.
honom sen.
Jag sa typ, jag ska ta på dig istället för mig.
Nej. Oj, vad mycket.
Vi kan också en tröja.
Det är en klänning.
Vill du veta en sak?
Alltså han vänder på den hela tiden.
Jag gör det bara så.
Jag såg. Nej. Jag såg den här texten.
Var det framsidan?
Ja, det var framsidan. Det är det visst.
Va?
Jo, kolla nu. Där är det där märket.
Man. Det är nu det ser. Ja, vi ska starta om starten.
Då kan de gå och skjuta.
Men det blir bra.
Nej.
Jo. Jag har gjort det.
Ja, jag gjorde 2,77 så vi ska fan.
Ja, och då får jag fan hoppa.
Jag gjorde också 2,77 fast.
Vilken boll? Aj!
Börjar med 9 spänn. Varför inte jag ska 6 spänn? Ja, men jag tog den i veckan.
Ja.
Jag tog 4,10 också. Det är som 6. Jag tog 4,10. 4,10. Det är som 6. På fjärde försöket.
Jag undrar för.
Men jag tror att pappa.
Ska jag hålla på med det?
Nej. Saved.
Ja, saved. Nice.
Smart.
Jag tänker hoppa liksom det. Det är snö.
Det är bra.
Håller det här med språk? Det är danska.
Fabian kommer.
Jag är inte från...
Nej, inte Fabian.
Jo, men han pratar svenska. Han är fin.
Han pratar danska. Han pratar svenska, han pratar danska, han pratar finska.
Men han pratar inte finska.
Ja, han gör det.
Muy bien.
Han är... Domar!
Så där då vänner, då har vi allihopa på en serie till slut. Beklagar detta, men nu hoppas vi på att det håller. Nu kommer bara Sebastian och vi här se till så att skåren kommer igång igen med rätt resultat på rätt ställe. Det kan vara något litet undantag på det 15-16. Det kommer vi i så fall reglera via skåren efteråt i så fall. Samtliga kommer nu få alltså varsin provruta per bana, så var två provrutor innan vi kör igång andra serien igen, och ni ska flytta som tanken var från början. Så att det kommer alldeles strax upp på skärmarna, och då kan ni trycka på bocken direkt och så drar vi av ett par provrutor var, och sen är det bara att köra vidare igen i serie 2. Vi ska bli 17-18. Det kommer ta någon liten minut till så vi får in resultatet från de som var på 15 och 16 där.
Flytta lite närmare och grejer.
Spelar ni kalla och stela?
Då kan ni trycka på bockarna och så väntar ni lite grann så ska jag också lägga in de här 2 provytorna också. Så att allihopa är på spelläge. Stänger du där borta, Victor? Nej, det har vi gjort det.
Ja, jag sa ju det, säkert inte. Ja, men det var smärtsamt. Smärtsamt. Så körde du ligan på friends och sen denna.
Det är bättre video än detta.
Bra fördelning om han har en...
Jag var på väg till. Nej, jag sa ju det. Jag behöver fylla på sig. Jag får prova. Det vill jag i. Det är därför jag får ifall det känns bra.
Ja, det var inte jag. Det var jävligt nära.
Kan ni kolla så att ni är på rätt startbana? Ni ska alltså börja på... Om ni börjar på vänsterbanan ska ni börja på högerbanan nu. Och tvärtom. Om ni börjar på högerbanan ska ni börja på vänster. Det är pilarna som ni ser här då där uppe. Så att det är den banan som ni startar på. Är alla rätt? Nej. Han kommer här nu då. Vi ser 5-6.
Nej, om man byter spel.
Har vi någon mer som det är fel på? Nej. Då får vi ha 2 tävlingsförare. Tävlingsslut också. Och då får vi. Då kan ni börja med era träningsytor. Tack.
Jag fattar inte. Är det orsak? Spelar ingen roll. Att man har
och sen är det bara att köra. Så jag står där uppe, många slag med plan. Det är någon som har fått någon liten bonus. Beroende på om du har strejkat eller inte. Då behöver ni inte trycka på börja spela när ni har gjort era tävlingsval klara. Och jag nämner det igen, de som är på 15-16, de siffrorna stämmer inte, de regleras givetvis i resultatsiffran senare på grund av att vi var tvungna och byta bana där. Lycka till allihopa!
All right, the action is finally back. We had, quite a delay because lane 15 and 16 got some issues. Took them a while. The guys were bowling on that pair, had to end the game on the site, so the whole bowling alley had to wait for one game. Fortunately, everything is fixed, everything is working. We're back in the action. And all right, time to get a little bit of an update. Let's see. So, while my scores update, I'm gonna give you the general standing for this squad. Lane 1, we have Hilmer Fredriksson, 200. Also, Emilia Linersson, 129. Rasmus Nordensson, 150. Kevin Andersson, 171. 3 and 4, we have Emil Lundgren, 177. Anton Sandberg, 193. Oscar Miren, 175. Saga Johansson, 223. Let's carry on. Lanes 5 to 8, we find Charlie Rosender with 266. Sixten Edfeld, 210. Max Fredriksson, 158. Hennes Hellsten, 188. Tobias Andersson, 167. Axton Sandberg, 239. Annabelle Andersson, 186. Anelia Andersson, 191. Lanes 9 to 12, we find Niels Weth with 208. Noah Strandberg, 220. Mille Lindgren, 218. Nicole Brandin, 185. Then we have Simon Hölling, 177. Philip Strandgren, 215. Doris Lundsten, 221. William Klasborn, 181. Moving along on lanes 13 to 16, Felix Lund, 170. Carl Adolfsson, 244. Linus Bäckström, oh, the score is not there, sorry, cannot update that one. And all the way to 17 to 20, I only have some of the scores. Manuel, 277. Lowy, 130. Vilma, 146. Julien, 130. William Vianto, 174. And David Hultin, 221. So hopefully the stats from Lane Talk are gonna update pretty soon, and I can give you a little bit more of more updated results. Okay, I can give you some update on the full tournament standings at the moment, with 2 squads left. The leader under 21 is Lucas Heichel, 1467 from Team Clan. We spoke with him a little bit earlier. It's bowling in the Nässjö Bowling School. On second position, we find Eskil Lind. It was fun to see Eskil. He was in some of my camps in Mora 3 years ago. He got so much taller than the last time when we met in person. He's bowling amazing. He's currently second with 1416. Number 3, we find Simon Jansson with 1413. Number 4 is Melvin Andersson with 1394. Number 5 is Mans, 1370, tied with Jonathan Johansson, also 1370. Albin is on 1362 on the 7th spot, or 7th place. And then we have 58 pin drop onto the 8th spot with 13.04. Now, if we move into the under 16. Under 16, the leader at the moment is Kevin Falstrom with 12.90. I met Kevin also this summer in the camp I was holding in Bollnäs. Very powerful bowler. Young kid, full of talent, very, very powerful. Place number 2 with 12.70, local Bigo Olander. Number 3 we have Multi Pettersson with 12.65. Number 4 is Niels Sweth with 12.52, and the 5th 12.39 it's Melvin Roth. Now if we look at the girls standings, 1 to 8 make it to the final. The leader is Jolene Lund, 11.22. 11.20 for Eva Andersson. Third place, Stephanie Leris. Fourth place, Karin Johansson. Fifth place is Hilma Hansson. Sixth is Emma Backlund. 7, Emilia Linersson. And on 8th place we find Nikki Backe. Yes, Ebelina, I see. I have actually the same issue as you have. I don't have the scores. It's not updating. I can only see them throwing, but same issue for me. The scoring isn't working for some reason. I'm gonna try to find Jonathan. If somebody can fix this, that's gonna be Jonathan. So you guys give me a couple of minutes. While I'm waiting to see if we can get the problem fixed. In the meantime, it's not much I can tell you in terms of score updating, but we can have a look a little bit around and see at least where is the action going on. I don't see the full scores, but from up here I can see some of the lanes screens, and it's a little bit of the same. The guys who are making most strikes are all bowling a little bit deeper, more around board 20 in the arrows, breakpoint around 10 to 12, and the highest score so far, they're all happening on two-handed guys bowling more or less on that area on the lane. we still see in this young age, it's more two-handed than one-handed in the boys, but it's a little bit more a 50-50, perhaps even still a little bit more single-handed bowlers on the girls' side. Ja, det är precis Evelina Westin. It's true we have some issues with the scoring system. We're trying to figure out what happens and how can we get it fixed. We will get it solved if possible the sooner that we can. Yeah, we just try to work on it. I'll let you know as soon as possible if we find a way to get you the scores back on the live stream as well. All right. Uh, Let me know if the scoring is back online for you guys. We tried to find a way to get it back on functioning. If not, if it doesn't work for you, the other way you can follow the scoring, it's through the olympiabowling.se web page, and you go to online scoring, and then you at least you can follow us. It's working. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was, yeah. They had to reboot the system because of the issue on game one, and for some reason it wasn't updating good enough. So let's make a quick check around, see where we are, because even myself I got quite lost. Okay, lanes 1 to 4. We have 457 for Saga Johansson and 441 for Oscar Midden. Then game of 218 for Kevin V. Anderson. Let's move to the next pair. 449 for Charlie Rosender. And 404 for Hennes Hellsten. Let me go to one more. Okay, lanes 9 to 12. We find Niels, 234 for a total score of 442. Noah Strandberg, 431 with a 211. Mille Lindgren, 257 for a total score of 475. Then we have Nicole, 244 and 429. That's a high scoring on this pair. 234, 211, 257, 244. It's not a house shot, I remind you. It's the EJ Tackett PBA Junior profile, 44 feet. What else? We have Doris with 406. Moving on, lanes 13 to 16. We find Linus with strike spare and 6 in a row. Also on lane 13. Front 5, split and a double for Felix. And if we go to the last corner on the right, we find Manuel. He had a tough game, 156, but he was the squad leader, so he remains with 33 over par. And I'm afraid some of the scores will not be correct because game one, it's not in there. I'm guessing this is happening to the bowlers who bowled game one on 15 and 16 when it got broken, and they had to end the game on another pair. But we'll try to get the best we can and try to get you informed in the best situation possible. Thank you, buddy. Yep. All right. They will try to find a way to get us everybody's scores, but in the meantime, we'll survive with what we have. You can see in some of the bowlers get a little bit out of the rhythm just a little bit, but it's understandable. It was a big break, despite the fact that they had a couple of warm-up shots to get in the rhythm again for this game two. It's never easy when you get a little bit of a pause that was unexpected. But they are young. Besides the fact of competing on a PBA junior and looking for their best big title event in their youth career, but it's also a learning experience. This is a situation that you can actually encounter more times in your life when you have these big events in many bowling alleys and with many lanes, full squats. Some lane breaks down for a while, and then you just have to live with it. So it's going to be another learning experience for all these little kids. Okay, we have some higher scoring from some of the girls compared to the previous squads. They have a fair chance to make it into the top 8. I'm going to remind you what's the top 8 at the moment for the girls. The leader is sitting with 11.20. That's 78 under par. And as long as they bowl around 170 average, they should find a way to get into the final. So we'll be checking around how many pins the girls are doing and see how many advance to the next stage from this second squad on Saturday here in Helsingborg, Olympia. It's amazing the power some of these guys produce and the way the ball hits when it reaches the pins. So, on the girls division, we find Saga Johansson with 457 after 2. She's bowling on lanes 1 and 2 at the moment. So if you guys are curious to find out, she's going to be on lane 1 and 2. And there we find also Wilma and Jolene. So we have 3 girls on 1 and 2. Yeah, it looks like some of the scores still are a little bit messy. As I can see on the streaming on 17, 18, 19, 20. It's yeah, it seems to be stuck for some reason. Well, anyway, if you happen to follow someone where the scores is a little bit messed, I remind you you can go to the olympiabowling.se and find the scores in the online scoring. That's going to be easier for you to follow and have the true update and to stay exactly where the scoring is happening at that moment. Yes, Burnett. The final's going to be tomorrow, and let me find out about the format. What's the format for the final tomorrow, Victor?
Best of 3 games, knockout.
Best of 3 games, knockout,
Yeah.
from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Okay. So best of 3, knockout, and it starts 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
8:30.
8:30. Not 8, not 9, 8:30. It could be somewhere 8:30 or 9. We'll find out soon. Anyway, it's coffee time.
It's best of 3, so first to 2 wins, not best score.
Best of 3.
Yeah, first to 2 wins.
Okay. So best of 3 tomorrow, and probably starting 8:30. We have one more squad to go, and we have another 4 games on this one. 9 o'clock. Yeah, we have a confirmation. So tomorrow the final starts 9 o'clock, and it's 16 boys, 8 girls.
16 U21ers, 16 U16, and 8 girls.
16, 16, and 8.
Yeah.
Okay. 16 under 21, 16 under 16, and 8 on the girls division. So it's going to be a long day with a lot of talent as well. It's going to be fun. Okay, let me see if that is working again. Lanes 1 to 4. Okay, 1 to 4, everything is working fine. So I'm going to give you a quick update. We find Oskar Midden, Saga Johansson, Vilma Wenman, Jolene Lund, Max Fredriksson, Hannes Hellsten, Hilmer Fredriksson, and Emilia Linarsson. On this current game, 3 and 4 seems to be doing good. Max has a double spare double. Hannes has a 4 front and a spare. Hilmer has strike spare and a turkey. So that pair is doing okay so far. 5, 6, 7, 8 is a little tougher for me to follow because one of the scores is frozen, so I cannot really tell you what goes on. If we move to 9 to 12, the scores are working well here as well. Guys with good score so far. We find Axton Sundberg, who was 45 over. We have, let me see, Doris. She was also with 6 over. Then on lane 12, we find Niels West and Noah Strandberg. Open frame, 4 in a row, open frame turkey, but they were well above par, both of them. And then on 13 to 16, we also can find Philip Strongren, front 3. Lowy Rose on 15 with front 4, and the same on 16 for Carl Adolfsson, front 4. Yeah, definitely the line that seems to be working better, it's somewhere in between the lane. So bowling around 20 as the game goes on, moving a little bit deeper, keeping the break point around 12. That's the area that seems to give you a little bit of a room to the outside, a little bit of room to the inside. And most the bowlers that finding their easiest way to the pocket, it's two-handed on that particular spot. The fact that there is many of them using that area is going to open up the lane a little bit more, as we have seen on the previous squad. And the scores, we can expect them to go a little bit higher by the end of the squad, as we have seen also on the previous one. Now, Lowy Rose is with the front 5. He's bowling on lane 15. So if you guys want to follow the action. On lane 12, Niels is also put the 5th in a row after an open frame. And on the cameras on the streaming on lanes 1 to 4, we still find some striking also by Max Fredriksson and Hannes Hellsten. They are bowling pretty high. We also find Hilmer Fredriksson. And all these people is already well above par. We're going to follow a little bit of the action also on lane 1 and 2, because we find the girls leader on this squad. I want to get to see how she does. It's a lot of bowlers, so I haven't really seen them all shooting. Let's see. That is Jolene Lund on lane 2. She's currently leading the girls division. Two-handed bowler. Oh, wonderful strike. Pin action. So double, spare, turkey for her. Now we're going to see on lane 1 what Saga is going to be able to do. They are on a re-ruck on lane 1. So we're going to see her right away. Another strike for Max Fredriksson on 3 and 4. He's getting strong. Double spare, double triple. Fighting his way back. Try to catch the leaders. Yeah, that was another strike for Hannes Helsten in 3 and 4 as well. That's a 4 in a row. 9 spare strike, 9 spare double. Sitting with 573 with the 10th frame to go and trying to strike out. Okay, I just saw Saga on lane 1. Bowling pretty deep, I must say. She's looking very consistent as well. Strong. She definitely has a very, very good technique. Saga bowling now on lane 2. She made a double. She has a couple of open frames on this game. But the technique, it's exquisite. Powerful, nice timing, nice release. Looking pretty good. I'm going to stay a little longer here on 3 and 4 because they are almost on the 10th frame on 3 and 4. We have Max Fredriksson doing some strikes. Just gonna come back. He's looking to strike out to go back to par. All right. He didn't get the 12 frame, but 253 for him. That helped him recover from a couple of games that were not so high. It's now on 572. And I'm going to try to look around, see if I can see some true scoring. Some of the lanes still a little stuck, so I cannot really give you true information about it. Now moving again to 13 to 16. Felix Lung, strike, spare, and 6 in a row all the way to the 9th frame. He's bowling with Carl. Carl is already on 607 with the 9th and the 10th frame to go. We find on 14 also Philip Strongren with triple spare, double spare. He was doing okay. He was having quite a high score. So we can expect him to be on the top of the squad for now. And pretty soon we're going to get some true update. And then I will let you know how is everyone standing. Okay, so 3 and 4, Hannes Helsten strike out for a 259, total score of 663. I'm going to put some attention on lanes 9 to 12. We have some strikings going on here. Some of the bowlers that had already a good score from the first two. We can find Axton Sundberg. He's got strike, spare, triple, spare, double. 583 with 2 frames to go and the double still to count. So that's going to be a high score. And also on 11 and 12, we can find Niels West with 631 with the 10th frame still to go. He got an open frame on frame 1, and then he had strike all the way till the 9th. And he just had a solid 9, so it was pretty close to get the strike on the 10th as well. But with a spare, he's going to be on 100 over after 3. Yeah, he got the spare. So he's going to have 258 with a strike now on the 12 for Niels and a total score of 100 over. I'll let you know right away. Yeah, it's a 7. So it's all right. 255, 795, 695, sorry. And I'm going to get you the true update pretty soon. Okay, I'm going to give you the scoring after the first 2, which is as good as we can do right now. Charlie Rosendale was the leader with 449. Then we found Axton Sundberg with 445. Then we found Niels with 442. Remember, Niels just shot 255, unless I'm wrong, so it's going to go up to the top. Number 4 was Oscar Midden with 441, tied with Lobe, 441. Carl Adolfsson, 432. Neo had 410. That's the under 16. Not bad. Under 21, Mille Lindgren, 475. Rasmus Olsson, 437. Manuel Laris, 433. Linus Bäckström, 432. Noah Strandberg, 431. Philip Strandgren, 421. And Hennes Helsten, 404. And ladies division, we found Saga Johansson with 457 after 2. Then we found Nicole Brandin with 429. And Doris Lundsten, 406. 4th was Annabelle Andersson with 395. And 5th was Annelia Andersson with 375. For what I see at the moment, the six girls who are leading this squad, they all have big numbers to make it into the girls' final. Let's see what goes on the next game. We're going to enter game 4. We can expect more transition to happen. We can expect the lane to open up a little bit more on the inside part of the lane. The lanes are going to give a little bit more room. So hopefully we can see some high scoring and some strikes happening. All right. We keep trying to fight to get this scoring system functioning again. But you know how these things are. When 15 and 16 broke down and they had to end the game in the other pair, it looks like some of the scoring got a little bit missed somewhere, and that's the reason why the scoring is not functioning at 100% on every pair. My apologies for that. We keep trying to solve the issue, but it's not easy. I'm gonna read you what I have access on so far, 1 to 4. I have the scoring updating properly. So here we can see the highest score so far is Hannes Helston with 731. If we take away the 68 pins that are already counting on this fourth game, that means he was already sitting with 703. No, sorry. 667. That's better. 667. Yeah. Yeah, some scores are still showing the previous game, so it's very hard for me to know exactly what's the true score. So I'm gonna just focus on the main game they are playing now, and hopefully our technicians can find a way to get us the true standings a bit more updated. Niels West is now bowling on 13 and 14. He had 697. Unless I'm wrong, he was the squad leader. So we want to follow his action for these last 3 games. As I said, he's now on 13 and 14. He's bowling along Noah Strandberg, who also had a good game on the past one, and now it started with front 4. On 15 and 16, we have Philip Strandgren. I don't know if they are brothers. I would guess so. On 13 and 14, we also find Manuel. He was leading on game 1. Then he had a bit of issues on game 2. Now he's got a 9 miss, double 9 miss. Let's see if he can get back into some rhythm. So now he's going to shoot on lane 14, two-handed. Oh, not the best. 6-7. Come on, go for the spare. Let's circle around. What else can we see? Another guy was doing good was Felix Lung on 17 and 18, along with his partner in crime, Carl Adolfsson. They're both on 17 and 18. And on 19 and 20, we find Saga. She was bowling quite good as well. We have to see how she goes on the next 3. Yeah, on 7 and 8, we find Doris Lundsten, front 4. On 5 and 6, there is a girl. She has spectacular technique, so powerful, super powerful, super powerful. She just left a 10 pin on lane 5. Her name, Nicole Brandin. The technique looks spectacular. So if you switch to cameras on lane 5 and 6 and you go and see Nicole, you will see she has a very, very powerful game, very strong, very good timing, amazing release. And on that same camera we find Doris as well on 7 and 8 with the front 5. But that is a good reminder for everybody. The scoring doesn't just come from your power, but you also need to be smart. You need to understand what parts of the lane are going to be beneficial, what parts you need to skip, what ball's going to give you the best entry angle, so it's going to carry the pins. Yeah, that shot for Nicole wasn't that good. A little bit out of alignment on her swing. This shot, her swing moved a little bit on the back. That cost her to miss the target. And on 7 and 8, beautiful strike. Another powerful lady. Amazing shot. And that was the front 6 actually for Doris Lundsten on 7 and 8. So if you want to see one-handed bowlers with a lot of talent, a lot of power on the girls division, I suggest you to join us on the streaming on lanes 5 to 8 and pay attention to these two girls, Nicole Brandin and Doris Lundsten. They have a very good technique, a lot of power, nice to look. So nice to see how they do. Okay, was no strike now for Doris, but front 6, 3, 6, 10. I'm pretty sure she's gonna take the spare, and we're gonna move along. Also on 5 and 6, we can find some strikes for Emilia Linesson. Spare, 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 and a triple. We're just gonna look around, see. Okay, in lanes 1 and 2, Hannes Helsten is doing very good. Double spare and 6 in a row to get all the way to the 9th frame. Looking for a 278, which would give him a nice cushion. Let me have a quick look around if there's anyone doing especially good. On 17 and 18, we had a couple of the guys that were doing okay. Felix Lung and Carl Adolfsson. Carl has a couple of open frames. Felix has one open frame, but 4 in a row. On 15 and 16, we find Philip Strandgren with front 7. So it's going to be a potential high game on 15 and 16. I'll say it again, Philip Strandgren. And I just realized I said maybe they are brothers, but no, it's a different surname. One is Strandberg and the other one is Strandgren. So my fault, my apologies. Small screen and old eyes. It's not a good mix. But let's keep watching. We have some action that we want to follow around. Okay, back to 1 and 2. Hennes got the 10th, so he's looking for. He got the 11th as well, so he's gonna shoot 270 something, all the way to 941. If he strikes on the 12th, that's gonna be 141 over, which is pretty good. Yeah, and he gets it. 278 for Hennes Hellstrand. Total score of 941. Pretty good. Let's go back to 5, 6, 7, 8, where Doris was front 6 pair strike. She's already with 6 over par with 3 frames to go. She's going to go high, definitely. So another of the girls that was up on the top, it was Saga Johansson. She's got 4 splits on this game. She's bowling on 19 and 20, but she has a strike now on the 8th. Hopefully she found the right spot. She could figure out this pair and try to survive it in a way. Nah, lane 20, that's the hooked. I hooked a little bit early for her. I believe she's a little bit in the middle of nowhere. She's not as deep as some of the two-handeds. So that tells me that probably she has very little room to miss inside at the moment. And we already stated that there isn't that much room to miss to the outside either. So since I'm in camera 17 to 20, we find Felix Lung. He can, if he strikes out, it's gonna go all the way to 86 over. Moving to 13 to 16. Philip Strandgren, he had the front 7, 9 spare, 9 miss. So he's 46 over with the full 10th frame to go. That means with the strikeout, he can go all the way up to 76 over. And also in 13-14, we find the young Niels. He already changed ball. That's a different ball for Niels now. Messenger get the double on the 10th frame. So Niels is gonna be on 100 with a strike. Is gonna be with 119 over. Niels West, lane 14. There he goes. Not bad. Nice, wonderful strike. Splitting the 8-9, celebrating 222 for a total score of 919. Nice work. So I believe the squad leader at the moment is going to be Hannes Helsten with 941. Then we find Mil Lindgren with 906. On the girls, Doris Lundsten, 254, total score of 873. That's very good as well. We have a very good game for Tobias Andersson on 11 and 12. Started with front 7, 254 total. Made it all the way up to 824. Charlie Rosender was the leader on game 1. 198, couple of open frames, 860 on total score. And we will see now on lane 12, Axton Sandberg. He's got a double. Is he gonna strike out on the 10th? Let's see. Wonderful shot. A lot of power, a lot of speed. He's currently bowling around 21, 22 on the arrows, sending the ball out somewhere around 12. That's Axton Sandberg. He's gonna take his shot for the 11th frame on lane 12. And we're gonna see what he gets. And it's one more to put the score all the way up to 930. Let's see. There goes Axton. Releases, a lot of power. A little bit too much speed. The ball did not have enough time to make it into the pocket as deep as he wanted. 7 pin. So 218 with a spare and a total score of 920 with a spare. I'm gonna guess he's gonna spare it. And then we will see. Yep, took the spare. So 920 for Axton Sandberg. Back to 3 and 4. We can see a lot of striking on the end of the game for Anneli Andersson. So she's got strike, spare, spare. And now 5 in a row. She's going to take the shot on the 11th frame. If she strikes out, she's going to move up to 796. She's bowling with Jolene. Jolene was leading until this last squad on the girls division. Nice release by Anneli. Was a bit short on the pocket. She left the bucket, but it's a very beautiful technique on her. A nice body position and a very nice release at the foul line. She takes a spare. 235, 783. That's a very good score to make it into the final on the girls division. Couple of games to go. So you just want to stay alive. It starts from 0 tomorrow, as we said, best of 3. And it's under 21, under 16, and then it's the girls category. So it doesn't really matter if you shoot 1500 or 1200, as long as you make it into the final. And then tomorrow is the big day. Remind you, there is one more squad to go. So one more squad today after this one is finishing. And yep, we're gonna wait a couple of minutes to see if we can have true updates on everything. What I can see so far, Millie Lindgren 906, Nicole Brandin 836. That's on lanes 1 to 4. Lanes 5 to 8. We find Doris with 873, William Classborn 833. Let's move along. 860 for Charlie Rosender on lane 12. 920 on lane 14 for Axton Sandberg. 919 for Niels on lane 15. That's a little bit expensive frame for Niels now. He got the washout, only 4, took 2 on the spare. So it's only 1 open frame, but it's gonna pay out as 2 because of the pin count. But he has a lot of pins, so should be okay. Another kid with a okay score for now. It's Felix Lung. He's bowling on 19 and 20. If you guys want to follow him, he was sitting down with 886. That puts him on a spot that with a couple of good games he would make it into the final. And okay, I can give you the right standings for every division after 3 games. The 4th one has not refreshed yet, but just so you have a little bit of an idea. Under 16, Axton Sandberg 702, Niels West 697, Charlie Rosender 662. Under 21, Millie Lindgren 686, Hannes Helston 663, Rasmus Olsson 661, Felling Lung 660. And girls division, Nicole Brandin 673, Saga Johansson 646, Doris 619. Obviously, those have changed a little bit after game 4, but we still have 2 more games, and we're gonna see how the action goes. I'll be right back in 1 minute. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a bit more update of the scoring after 4, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's see back to the action. We have again Noah Strandberg, front 7 on lane 16. He's getting more and more comfortable, but that's a little bit what we were talking about 15 minutes ago. We said it's a lot of people using the same line on the lane, so the lane should open up a little bit and make it a little bit easier for the bowlers to find more room. So on 13 and 14, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 out of the 8 bowlers scoring high. If we move along, we can see some more striking happening around. Lane 3 and 4, Rasmus Olsson, front 6. The girls on 1 and 2, Annabelle Andersson, a turkey. Maya, double spare double. What else? Nicole, open frame, but then front. Open frame and then 4 in a row. She's bowling now on lane 3. Let's see what Nicole does. She's got a lot of power. She definitely needs to work a little bit with that swing line, because everything else is so good. It's just a little bit of misalignment on the backswing sometimes, and that is mostly related on the push away. There she goes. You see, she pushes away a little bit to the right. That puts the ball a little bit too far behind the body, and not every time the swing is coming back on the same line. So she has a lot of talent. It looks very, very good. She just needs small adjustments on the technique, and definitely she's going to be one of those girls you're going to hear about. Rasmus, another strike. That's front 7 on lane 3 and 4. Okay, let's go back to the striking lanes. We have 13, 14, 15, 16. Noah, front 9. So he's got 2 more in that short period that we were checking on another camera. So you have Niels on lane 15. Is going to be followed by Noah. Noah's got the front 9. Niels got another one. So remember, Niels got that terrible open frame on frame 2 with a washout that was 4 and 2. That was pretty expensive for him. But he's going to manage to bowl 209 with 1 more strike. And he's going to be happy about that. There goes Niels again. Missed a little bit in. But the ball held. That's the little room they are looking for. So you can miss in and you can miss a little bit out. And that is my bet for the next couple of years. As soon as the purple hammer is not in play anymore, and many of these young kids learn to bowl reactive instead, the lanes are going to open up a lot more, and the scoring pace is going to go even higher than it did when they bowled with the purple hammer. And maybe 4 years from now, they will all think like, yeah, I wasted 2 years of my life bowling only urethane. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Lane 15. Releases, goes, gets it. 10 in a row. Front 10 for Noah Strandberg. Lane 15, don't miss the action. looking for the 11th. Noah standing on the approach. Grips the ball, focus. Looks at the target, starts walking. There he goes. Releases, a little bit in. Yeah, a little bit in. He found a lot of oil. So 2-8 with a spare, 288. Beautiful, nicely done. I wonder if these kids make a 300 game. Do they get a ring? I mean, it's a PBA. It's PBA youth, but still PBA. I have to find out if they get, maybe they get a mini ring or they get a lollipop. You never know. So I'll find out. Is he gonna get a ring? Is he gonna get a lollipop? Maybe they get a milkshake. You never know. But nicely done. Niels and Noah bowling together. 11-26 for Niels. 11-16 for Noah. Bowling just beside them, Axton on 13 and 14. Looking to double so he can be standing between the two of them. Let's see what he can do. So strong, so powerful. Too much. So it's going to be 190, 11. If he spares, 11-15. It's a washout, so it could be 11-14. But very close to Niels and Noah. Let me see around. We had some pins happening also on the girls division. Nicole, she had an open frame, but that a few strikes again. She can bowl 230. She's already above par. If she strikes on the 11th, she's going to be looking at 60 something over after 5. And we have to find Saga. Where is Saga? She was doing pretty good. In the hair, not here. Okay, 11 and 12, we find Charlie Rosen there, 210 with a split on the 10th, 70 over. Okay, I found Saga. She's gonna start the last game on 15 and 16. She has 43 over par at the moment. And three of the leaders on the squad, they're gonna bowl the last game on 17 and 18. They are Niels with 11-26, Noah with 11-16, and Hennes Helston, who has 11-39. So Nicole ended up with 217. She's standing with 1,053 over par. And the one I cannot find now, it's Doris. Where did Doris go? It doesn't show up in here. Not on these cameras. And not here either. I can't find her, so I'm guessing she's probably gonna bowl on 19 and 20 on the last game. So the girls division, we have Saga Johansson with 1,043. We find Nicole Brandin with 1,053. And if I can find Saga, she's not on the screens at the moment, so I cannot really tell you how much she has, but I'm guessing she should be more or less tied with them, depending on what she did on that last game. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a little bit until the screens refresh for me as well, and then I can probably give you a little bit of a better idea on how are the standings at the moment. Okay, I finally found Doris. She's playing on 3 and 4. That's why we couldn't find her score. They were finishing the games on lanes 1 to 4. So she's sitting on the lead at the moment. She had 83 over par. She can see the girl in second place, which is Nicole. Nicole is going to bowl on 1 and 2. So Doris can know exactly how many pins she needs to get down in order to stay ahead of Nicole. But none of them should forget about the third contender, because she was also doing quite good and she was also with quite a high score. And she's started pretty strong. So third position on lane 15-16, it was Saga Johansson. She started with the first 3. So that's gonna be interesting. Who can take the lead on the girls division? That's a strike on frame 2 for Doris on lane 3. And on the guys, don't forget, on 17 and 18, we find Niels, Noah, and Hennes. It's the 3 of them are on the top for this squad. That's last game is going to decide who's going to be on top and who's not. 4. That's strike number 4 to start the game for Saga Johansson on 15 and 16. She's definitely pushing on the pedal, trying to catch the lead. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on. And she got the 5th one. She's definitely looking strong. Saga and 15 and 16, front 5. Looking hardly to get the lead on this squad. Doris, she left the 4-pin on lane 4. So she got the strike on lane 3. She's still adjusting on lane 4. Nicole on 1 and 2. She's got the double on frame 1 and 2. So she's also looking to put some pressure into Doris. Strike for Niels on lane 18. He's got a couple of splits in there. Hennes also has got an open frame. No strikes so far. So that opens the window for Noah Strandberg to get himself in the lead of this squad. Spare, Turkey 9 spare. Bowling on 18. Wonderful strike for him. Okay, let's go back and see what goes on with the girls. Okay, Saga, front 6 for her. She does not want to let the other ones take the lead on this squad. Doris, strike on the 3, lane 3. There goes Nicole. She's got the front 3, and she gets the 4th one on lane 1 and 2. So Doris was the leader. Nicole was a little bit short behind. And Saga was right behind the 3 of them. But it looks like we're not going to know who's going to lead on the girls until the very last frame of this squad. The 3 of them are very tight now. Nicole, front 4, 11:13. Doris, 11:31, also on frame 4. Saga, 11:93, but she's got the front 7. So that means she's got 3 frames more on the pinfall, which is 90 pins. So she was 10 behind on frame 4, but she made 3 more strikes. So unless the other 2 strikes, she's going to be leading by 20. That's Saga Johansson on lanes 15, 16. Let's see. She's gonna take her next shot on lane 15. That's gonna be 8th frame for her. She's letting the right lane ball first. That's Tobias Andersson on lane 16. Nice shot. Nice strike for Tobias. And there goes Saga on lane 15. Whoops. Yeah, missed a little bit in, but not a bad carry, just the 10 pin. So 12-22 with front 7 and 9 on the 8th frame. I'm gonna go back and see how the other two girls are doing. Okay, Doris is having a little bit of issues with lane 4, to be precise, because she got open frame, spare open frame on lane 4 and strike on lane 3. On the other hand, on 1 and 2, Nicole, she's got front 4, 7 spare. So after total score of 4 frames, she's got 1160. Doris, after 5 frames, 1159. So that means Nicole is 20 pins ahead. And if I go back to Saga, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 49 less, 1200. Yes, Saga is about 20 pins ahead of Nicole and 30 pins ahead of Doris. Boys division. I see front 5 on lane 1 for Carl Adolfsson. And if we go back to the guys who were leading until now, let's see what I can find. Okay, lane 15, Axton Sandberg, 1291 with pin carry up to the 7th frame. So it's 3 frames to go. It can go all the way up to 1380, more or less. We will see. And our leaders, which was Niels, Noah, and Hennes. Hennes on lane 17 and 18. Not a single strike yet. 1 open frame. Noah is the one throwing on 17. Ooh, that was deep. Maybe a little bit of over gripping. That's 4-7-10 on the 9th frame. That's gonna open the window and the door and pretty much the garage for Niels to go all the way in. Niels got the strike on the 9th. Actually, he's got a 4-bagger. So at this moment, Niels is ahead. That split on the 9th frame for Noah is going to be a little bit expensive. Not to make it into the final, it should be okay. He's sitting with 103 over and the 10th frame to go. Okay, I'm going to see what can Niels manage to do on the 10th frame. Important for him. Oi, missed a little bit out. Ooh. Yeah, that was not the best carry either. 2, 4, 8, 10. And on top of it, the 2-pin has moved a little bit. So now it's a very complex spare. I wonder if he's going to hook it or is it going to go back up. Let's see what he's going to do. Lane 18, Niels. He hooked it. A little bit too much. So total for 192, he has 3 open frames, 3 splits, but total score 13-18. Now Noah has got the chance to beat that score. The door has opened for Noah, but the lane is hooking too much for him. Looks like the line is gone. Probably they need to move a little bit deeper than they are now. And then we have Hennes, who's got also a 9. Hennes with the spurs gonna shoot 170 something. So the three guys that were having the highest of the scores have slowed down a little bit on this last game. So we're gonna go back and see what the girls are doing. Saga, front 7, 9 spare, 9 spare. She's about to take the 10th frame on lane 15. There goes Saga. Missed a little bit out, but the release was very good. The ball made it back. Light, but she got the strike. That's already 1281 with 11th and 12th to go. If we move back to lane 1 and 2, Doris, she managed to double. Nicole, spare, and another strike. So Saga has the chance to shut everyone down. That looked very good. Oh, that was a very good release. It just read slightly sooner. She left the 4-pin, but that was a very good shot. 258 for her, 1301 with the spur. So now we know it's the first 1300 on the girls division. Now we know what the other two need in order to lead. Let me see if she takes the spare, so I tell you for sure. Yep. So 258, 1301 for Saga Johansson. Amazing performance, very, very good. Now, oh, solid 9 for Doris on lane 4. I don't think she's gonna like this lane so much after today. She's been doing good shots, but a couple of splits and a couple of bad carries. Now, back into Nicole on lane 2. So, Sama, absolutely the same. Solid 9 for her. So that's gonna mean that the lead's gonna stay on Saga's hand with 101 over. The way it looks now, Nicole is gonna finish. Nope, she missed the spare. That gives a chance to Doris to still beat that score. They actually absolutely tight now. If they both strike out, they will be tight with 78 over. Now here on lane 3 and 4, we have William Classborn also striking a lot on this last game to recover some pins. And on 1 and 2, we can see also Carl Adolfsson striking a lot. Front 5 spare and triple, so if he strikes out, it's a 279. And let me see some ending scores. Noah Strandberg 1323, Hennes Helston 1315. $13.47 for Axton Sandberg. 12.74 Oscar Mirin. Tobias Andersson 12.61. Charlie Rosender 12.49. I'm only telling you the highest scores I can see on screens. So I'm going back to 1 to 4. We have the girls fighting to become the number 2 on the squad and the number 2 on the overall. There's Nicole, she got the 10th. She's looking for the 11th frame. It was a pocket, a little bit light. The 5-pin never hit the 7. So 215 for her with a spur for a total score of 1268. Yeah, she got the strike. And Doris, she's got the soft 10 on lane 3. So that means Nicole Brandon's going to be on second on the girls division with 1268. And Doris, if she spares and strike, On the 12th, she's going to have 12.67. Another strike on lane 2 for Carl Adolfsson, all the way up to 279 if he makes a strike on the 12th. That's going to help him go up. His partner on lane 1, Felix Lund, 221 for a total score of 13.54. I think it's one of the leaders on the squad. I haven't seen anyone shooting that high so far. Okay, he's got 8 on the 12th, 277, total score of 12.62 for Carl. There goes Doris on the 12th frame. Another soft 10. No, but he got it down. The 6-pin got it down. Was a little bit soft. 184, 12.67 for Doris. That was pretty tight on the girls division. We're gonna see how William Classborn finishes here on lane 3. He's looking for a 269 if he strikes out. Smooth release. Very nice shot. Wonderful. 2 more for 13.25. And that's more or less what the cut's gonna be. Somewhere around 120, 130 over. It felt a little bit like this squad. The guys under 16 bowled as high or even a little higher than the guys under 21. Another beautiful strike for William. So 1 more, 269. Total score 13.25. And on 19 and 20, Annelia Andersson. She's going to end up with 193 on the 9th, so 213, and a total score of 1191 with a spare. William shot 7 on the last one, so 266, 1322 total score. And Annelia is 212 and 1190. That gives her a spot in the girls division so far. So we have 1 more squad to go. Everything is going to be decided right now on this next squad. We're going to hurry up as much as we can. We're going to do the lane dressing, and as soon as we can, we're going to be back for squad number 2. Thank you for your attention. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.